catch my breath for a second. Exactly a year ago today was the moment when I flew in a plane alone to Venice Beach, California to be in Jacob Sartorius' Hit or Miss music video. Oh my gosh, it's been a year. On July 19th will be exactly a year since I first ever met Jacob Sartorius. I think it's time to tell the story on YouTube. So last summer was when I started to really like Jacob Sartorius, to where I was getting to be a true fan. I was like, I have to meet him, and I would put pictures of him all over my walls. A lot of them are from this year, but you know. The love for Jacob is still true to this day, a year later after I first met him. Last summer, 2016, me, my grandma, my sister, and my cousin all went to Virginia, and Jacob lives in Virginia, and we went to Virginia to go see our family. We have family from Tokyo that moved to Virginia, and so I was thinking in my head, oh my god, like Jacob lives in Virginia. This is my perfect time to meet him, and I'm like, so excited. I'm gonna be in the same state as Jacob, like I'm so hyped. So we went to Virginia, and the whole time I was convincing my grandma. I was like, Grandma, I know we're 4 hours away from Jacob. Jacob lives in Reston, Virginia, and we were in Chesapeake, Virginia, and so I was like, Grandma, I know we're like 4 hours away from where Jacob lives, but please take me down there, because I promise you, like if I go down there, I'm probably gonna meet him. On the last day we were in Virginia, my grandma was like, okay, Brooke, we're going back to Oklahoma, but I'm gonna go out of the way. Oklahoma was this way. She drove up Virginia to Reston, where Jacob lives, out of the way, just so we could go, so I could meet him. Yeah, Brooke, you really think that you were gonna meet him? I got there, I was so hyped. I was like, I'm gonna see him, like I am in the same town as Jacob Sartorius. Like, this has never happened. Like, oh my gosh. So, I go to check on a Snapchat story to see if he was at the mall where I was, swimming at my vacation house, posted by Jacob Sartorius. I was so mad. I was so mad. His vacation house is still in Reston, Virginia, so I'm blessed that we were still in the same town. But once I find out that he was not at the mall, I was so devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, like what if I never meet Jacob Sartorius? Like, how am I gonna get him to notice me? Like, I need to meet him. I need to meet him this summer. So we ended up getting in the car, driving back to Oklahoma. The whole way back to Oklahoma, I was crying. I was just listening to my music, and then something clicked in my head. It was like, Brooke, if you love Jacob Sartorius this much, you're gonna find a way to meet him, no matter how hard it is. I was just thinking that, I was like, you know, I'm determined, because all these people are saying you're never even like gonna meet Jacob Sartorius. Like, you really think you're gonna meet Jacob? He's just someone online that you're obsessed with. Really, I'm never gonna meet Jacob? Okay, so we get back home from Oklahoma, and it's July 12th. I don't know how I remember the date. This moment was just so special to me. Okay, so I was sitting right there where that emoji pillow is, right there next to my bed. So I was sitting right there on my bedside, and I see a tweet from Jacob, and it says, California fans, email this email if you want to be in my new Hit or Miss music video. And my mom wasn't home. My grandma was watching me and my sister. So I text my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I call her, she's in Mexico, and I'm like, Mom, please let this happen. I'm gonna email this email, and please, if I get an email back, then can you, like, fly me out there or something? Like, can Grandma fly me out there? Please let me go if I get this email back. And she was like, okay, if you get the email back. She was probably thinking in her head, she's not gonna get the email back. Like, there's thousands of girls who are gonna message him. Why would she be picked when she doesn't even live in California, right? It's July 17th, 2016. I wake up, look at my phone, go to my emails, check it, just like I did every day since July 13th. Jacob Sartorius Hit or Miss music video inquire. I have an email from Jacob inquiring about the Hit or Miss music video. I start bawling my eyes out. I was crying so hard. I call up my mom. She's on like a boat right now, about to parasail or something in Mexico. And I'm like, Mom, like Jacob Sartorius music video in California tomorrow. I was like, Mom, like you promised me that you would fly me out there if I got the email. Like, you have to do it, please. This means everything to me. It's crazy because like basically like a week ago, I was in Virginia crying about how I'm never gonna meet him and how I was so determined to do it, and like a week later I have an opportunity to go be in his music video. Like, it's crazy. So for all of that day, for such a long time, we were trying to figure out who was gonna take us, because my grandma was so mad about it. She was like, no, Brooke, like, I'm not taking you, that's ridiculous. I have like a hurt knee. And she was like, no, I'm not doing it. So we tried calling my mom's friends. I tried calling Taylor, if you're watching this, hi. I tried calling your parents to see if they could take me to California. Yeah, that's how desperate I was to go meet Jacob. I tried calling my dad, aunt that I'm not even that close to, who lives in Texas. Like, so many people, like, it's crazy. And I was just sitting down wondering if I'm even gonna go, and I still had 100% hope in myself. I was like, I'm gonna fly out there. I have this opportunity. How could I just let it go to waste? My mom calls me. I pick up the phone. What the heck? Coming? Okay. And she's like, Brooke, good news. And I automatically was crying. Like, oh my god, I'm about to cry just saying this. God, look at that. Why? This was such an intense moment for me last year, and it's just all coming back to me telling the full story. So she calls me and she's like, Brooke, good news. We found someone to take you to California to be in Jacob's music video. You're gonna meet him, you're gonna be in it. What's happening is great Uncle John, who lives in California, he's going to pick you up. You're gonna stay at great grandpa's house. He's gonna pick you up that morning. And you're gonna drive down to Venice Beach and you're gonna be in the music video. Basically, she got me a plane ticket, $1,000 round-way trip, $1,000 plane ticket, because we got it the day before we left. So I was leaving the next day, and so I go in my room, I started blaring Sweatshirt. Let me just show you an example of how excited I was packing my bag to go to California. Oh my god, Jacob! To think of me, something that will keep you warm and show you we can be more. So it is now July 18th, 2016, the next day when my flight leaves. It's about 11 o'clock. This is my first time flying in a plane alone. So my grandma wasn't going with me or anything. So I was flying alone. I was really scared. Like, last time I went to the airport was like 4th grade. And I ended up getting to my gate and I was going on the plane. So I get to California and I stay at my great grandpa's house. We go to sleep and it's the next day. The day for the hit or miss video shoot, the day I'm gonna meet Jacob Sartorius. So I get emails about it, where to meet, what time, and all this stuff. So I was wearing these shoes. So every time I put on these shoes, I think of it, man. With these shorts. My great Uncle John picks me up. We go to Venice Beach. We walk around for about like 3 hours and we go eat before we're supposed to be at the location that it said at 6 o'clock. Earlier while we were at dinner, I was showing my uncle pictures, and I was like, every time I look at pictures of Jacob, I start crying. Like, how am I not gonna like have a heart attack when I see him for the first time in person? I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna cry when I see him. Okay, so we're walking back to meet at the video shoot, and my great Uncle John looks over and he's like, oh, is that kid in the white shirt next to the guy on the bicycle, that Jacob kid that you're trying to... I look over and I was like, no. And that was actually Colin's key. I didn't know that, but that's who he was talking about. I look over, no. The guy who was on the bicycle next to the guy in the white shirt was Jacob. So I immediately start crying, and then he kept looking at me. He kept like, ah! He was shooting a scene on the bike. And so he kept looking at me. Oh my god, he was just so cute. I could not stand it. So he comes a little closer up to me to talk to his mom and like get a drink of, it was strawberry Gatorade. He took a drink of strawberry Gatorade, not joking at all. 2 feet away from me. Jacob Sartorius was 2 feet away from me. He goes, hey, what's up? And I go, like, oh my gosh. And I start crying some more. Was shooting more scenes. He would like wave at me like on occasion. I was like, oh, okay. So then they started shooting this one scene, and there were paid actors in the front, so I was towards like the side, and I met this girl named Alexis. Alexis, I know you're watching this, so shout out to you. So I met this girl named Alexis, and she's like my same age. I was just talking, I was like, you got the email for this? And she's like, yeah. And so we were both just like in this one scene. We weren't supposed to be in this scene, but since we got there early, we were in this certain scene. So we were supposed to be in the scene where the crowd was. I was in that scene, but you can't see me because I'm so short. So if I wasn't in the smaller scene, then you wouldn't have been able to see me. So we start walking, and let me show you what I was doing when this scene was shooting.
You know, my heart's a metronome, and now you know I'm glad I met you though, because the second week my love is so electrical. You never know.
At the end of the scene, and they put this in the video, I'm looking at Jacob, and I go, get, and that's in the music video. After we were shooting that scene, the directors were like talking about what to do next, and so Jacob is like right in front of me. I'm standing right behind him. I need to tell Jacob my love for him, so I go, Jacob, I love you. And this one paid actress looks back at me. She was paid, so she obviously didn't even like Jacob Sartorius that much. She looks back at me, she goes, don't we all? What do you? Oh, you don't even like him. She was being so mean to me the whole time. She was giving me glares like, I'm right next to Jacob on this scene and you aren't. Like, get out, okay? And so whenever I said, Jacob, I love you, Jacob looked back to me and he goes, and he like laughed at me. He laughed at me. He didn't even say he loved me back. If I said I liked you, would you love me back though? No, because he didn't say he loved me back though. So finally, we get to the scene that we were originally supposed to be in, which is the crowd. We weren't allowed to video this part because he was recording the full song.
But guys, if you could please put your phones like down, because like it's not out yet, so.
And he played it, I swear to you, 20 times. So I learned the full song of Hit or Miss before it even came out.
Is that it's just a hit or miss? So let's not worry about tomorrow.
I was right up against the row where he was on the stage. I was like yelling and screaming. Everyone was like, sweatshirt, sweatshirt, sweatshirt. And he was like, we're trying to film a music video right now. Maybe if we have time in the end, like I'll sing some Sweatshirt for you guys. So at the end, he finally sang Sweatshirt.
You can wear my sweatshirt, and you can tell your friends when you go to sleep at night, when you wake up in the morning, and when you walk the halls, girl, you know you wanna flaunt it.
Now for the scenes where we were acting like kind of a concert, we did have to wait in this super long line lined up against the rim of the parking lot, and it was crazy because this summer I went to Venice Beach where it was shot. I was like, oh my god, like that exact place right there, 300 Oceanfront Walk is where I met Jacob. And so I made this when I got back from California, and it says, we met, Hit or Miss video shoot, 300 Oceanfront Walk. Isn't it beautiful, guys? And so I just like have this set up in my room. I just put it right there. He started, it was really a really messed up thing to do. His managers were like, guys, if you want to take pictures with him, go this way. So, and then Jacob ran off this way, and everyone was running this way, so we got in his car, and everyone was banging on his door, and they were like, Jacob, trying to get pictures with him, and then he drove off. I was in his Snapchat video. He took a Snapchat of us, so I was in that. And I didn't want to make, sorry this YouTube video was like really long. Happy 1-year anniversary to me and Jacob, July 19th, 2016 at 4:45 p.m. 300 Oceanfront Walk, here it is, people. I'm gonna cry. Okay, but I need to cut what I'm saying right now, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!